Just so you guys know, I'm reshooting this video and the last one because the mic was slightly unplugged when I shot them, so the audio is absolutely useless. But I like doing these videos, so let's keep going. So what's up guys, I'm Adrian Thompson. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about how much money I need to make in order to keep the quality of life that I currently have. Just to give you guys some background information, I don't have a car payment. I paid my car insurance all at once. My company pays my phone bill, and I live in a 2-bedroom apartment with 1 roommate. I say that to put in context some bills that I don't have that you might have, but don't worry, I'm going to factor those in later in the video, so don't think that this video doesn't apply to you. So if you guys like the concept of this video or this channel, go ahead and like and subscribe. It really helps out. And I usually post these videos on Reddit, but I've been getting a lot of heat there. So instead of posting there, I'm gonna lower the frequency at which I do that. But if you guys could start sending these videos to somebody you might think would be interested, I would greatly appreciate it. Now that being said, let's dive into today's video. I've already broken down my budget in a video. I'll put it in one of these corners. If you want to watch that, that might give you some better context. But for this video, the numbers I'm using are an average of how much I've spent over the past 3 months. So they might differ from the last video where I specifically broke down my budget just a little bit, but this should be a better overall representation of how I spend my money. I don't want this video to be about budgeting specifically, so I'm just going to go ahead and list the totals for each of the following categories. I've tried to shoot this like 5 times and I keep messing it up, so I'm just going to read it off. So for rent, I spend $735. Utilities usually run me $130. I dedicate $315 to food. I drive a lot, so I spend $240 on car gas. I always budget in $300 of entertainment for my life. I spend about $80 a month in subscriptions. I always have about $80 of miscellaneous expenses per month, and that gives us a grand total per month of $1,888. So to reiterate, that's how much money I spend each month. So to figure out how much money I need to make before taxes, I'll just go online to online take-home pay calculator. And in Atlanta, Georgia, the salary that I would need to make to pay exactly $1,880 per month comes out to be $27,950, or roughly $13.50 an hour for a 40-hour work week. Now for reference, jobs that usually fall into this are something like a UPS handler, a front desk concierge, a computer hardware technician, or somebody who's in customer service. Most, if not all of these jobs don't require prior work experience. So if you're intentional about your application, networking, and appearance while you're doing those interviews, you should be able to land a job roughly making $13.50 an hour. Personally, I think the quality of life that I have now is significantly better than what I grew up in. Hell, I remember growing up, there were 6 of us living off of an income that was less than half of what I currently make now. Something I want to be very clear about, this is not the whole story whatsoever. Keep in mind, I didn't put in car insurance. I didn't put in a car payment. I didn't put in insurance. I didn't put in a phone bill. So I think the best thing we could do is put in some of those things. So a car payment that would be for something like my car, which is a 2015 Honda Civic, would run you roughly $330 a month. I prepaid my car insurance for a 6-month policy that cost me $686, and then my portion of my phone bill would have been $55. Now, if I was paying that month to month, I would need to make $36,000 a year in order to take care of those adjusted expenses. This actually makes a lot of sense to me because I felt like I was able to pay for what I needed to pay for when I was making $35,000 right out of college. But I did always feel like I was just scraping by. Once again, I'll reiterate, this is not the full picture, but I think breaking down your income like this and what you need to make and how much of your income you dedicate to just pure expenses can be greatly beneficial. So when I did this, it helped me categorize how much money I should be spending and what I'm spending that money on, and everything just became significantly more clear, and it was easier to set goals. So for example, if you want to save $10,000 into your 401k and you're fine with the $36,000 that you're spending right now, you know for a fact you have to make $46,000 in order to hit that goal of putting $10K into a 401k. That's a mouthful. Based off of averages, if you want to put in insurance, you need to make $3,444 more in your salary before taxes in order to achieve that. Or say you want to have $3,000 at the end of the year set aside for savings and emergencies, you're going to need to make roughly $4,000 more in your salary because of taxes. Now keep in mind, I live in the United States in Atlanta, Georgia, so people's state taxes might be more or less, or just your federal taxes, depending on what country you're in, might be more or less than here in America. When scripting this video, there were two main things that I wanted to address. And the first one is that your salary and your take-home pay are two completely different things. If you were young, or maybe you're just unaware of this, which is perfectly fine, we're all here learning, this is how your paychecks typically work. So for easy numbers, let's say your salary is $24,000 and you're paid twice a month. So that's 24 payments or paychecks in a year. So you should make per salary $1,000 per paycheck. However, you will notice that you're not going to have $1,000 deposited into your bank account. And the reason for that is taxes. Like I said, if you're in Georgia, if you go into your take-home pay calculator and put in Atlanta, Georgia, your take-home pay of a salary of $24,000 of 24 payments in a year should be $818. If you are getting $1,000 deposited into your bank account, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Just keep in mind, you should set aside roughly $188. I think that math is right. You should set aside roughly $188 per paycheck to pay back the IRS when you file your income taxes. Something else that can also lower your paycheck are deductions. So what a deduction is basically areas where the government said that you can spend money without it being taxed. So the most common areas you're going to see this are 401k contributions, health plans, and maybe dental insurance plans. The second part that I wanted to address in this video, and honestly, this is the main reason I wanted to address this in this video, was that knowing that $36,000 is all I need to make in order to cover the expenses that gets me to the quality of life that I like is a very rational thing to understand, and it definitely helps you avoid lifestyle creep. Something that's very common, especially here in the United States, when people make more money, they tend to just spend the more money that they make, and they never feel more financially secure because instead of driving a Honda, now they drive a Volkswagen. And once they get more money, then instead of driving a Volkswagen, they're going to be driving an Audi. But for me, knowing that I'm perfectly fine with the quality of life that I live at $36,000 a year in salary, the difference between that and what I currently make is just a complete change in net worth. So for me, making $72,000 is essentially my net worth changing from $30,000 to $40,000 each and every year. In other words, breaking down your pay and knowing how much you need to make through this experience can be that driving force to convince you to start building wealth instead of just spending the more money that you make when you make more money. So I hope you guys got something out of this video. I know I did going through this little experiment. Let me know if you guys do it. All you have to do is Google take-home pay calculator, and you can put in how much you make and see how much you take home or how much you spend, and then do exactly like I did and retroactively work back to see how much money you need to make to maintain the quality of life that you like. Now, I think you'll get something out of it. And remember, if you liked it, go ahead and like the video, go ahead and subscribe, and remember to share it with somebody. And remember, it may be hard now, but it doesn't always have to be. I'll see you in the next one. And hopefully I don't have to shoot this video for a third time.